Far away from Earth, deep inside the center of the galaxy, a massive station floated quietly in space. It was called the Galactic Council Station. From here, the most powerful alien empires watched the entire galaxy. Thousands of screens showed stars, planets, fleets, and signals from every corner of space. Nothing unusual ever happened here. Until one day, a small alien technician suddenly noticed something strange on his monitor. At first, he thought it was just a sensor error. But the signal kept growing stronger. "Commander, you should look at this," the technician said nervously. The commander slowly walked toward the screen. His tall gray body moved calmly, but when he saw the readings, his eyes widened. "What is that?" he asked. The technician shook his head. I don't know." The signal was coming from the outer edge of the galaxy. Something was entering galactic space. At first the sensors believed it was an asteroid. Then they believed it was a small ship. But after scanning it again, the system showed something shocking. It was neither. The object was too large to be a normal ship. And its energy readings were enormous. Within minutes, the news spread across the station. Soon, leaders from many alien empires gathered in the main control hall. The room was filled with strange creatures from different worlds. Some were tall and thin. Some had glowing eyes. Some had scales and long tails. All of them were staring at the giant screen in the center of the room. The mysterious object slowly moved closer to the galaxy. The sensors tried to scan its design. But something was blocking the scan. "That is impossible," one alien scientist whispered. "No ship should be able to hide its full structure from our scanners." The commander crossed his arms. "Zoom the image," he ordered. The giant screen changed. Slowly, the shape of the object became clear. The entire room went silent. It was a warship. But not like any warship they had ever seen before. The ship was enormous. It was long and dark, shaped like a giant spear cutting through space. Its surface was covered with heavy armor and strange glowing lights. Rows of weapon systems were visible across its body. Some weapons were larger than entire alien cruisers. The scientists looked terrified. One of them checked the readings again. His voice began to shake. "Commander, the energy output of that ship." He paused. "It is stronger than a full battle fleet." The room exploded with whispers. "That is impossible. No single ship has that much power. It must be a mistake." But the sensors continued scanning. And every scan showed the same result. The warship was real. And it was powerful. Then something even stranger happened. The ship sent a communication signal. The signal reached the Galactic Council Station instantly. All the alien leaders stared at the screen. "Open the message," the commander said slowly. The technician pressed a button. A simple line of text appeared on the screen. "Origin, Earth." For a moment, nobody spoke. Then several alien leaders began to laugh. "Earth?" one of them said. "The human world?" Another alien shook his head. "That must be a joke. Humans were not considered powerful. Long ago, humanity had tried to contact the galactic community. But most alien empires ignored them. Humans were seen as a young and weak species. Eventually, Earth disappeared from galactic space. That was 200 years ago. Many believed humans had gone extinct. But now, a massive warship from Earth had just entered the galaxy. The commander looked back at the screen. His voice was serious now. "Run a deeper scan." The technicians worked quickly. Seconds later, the results appeared. And what they saw made their blood run cold. The ship was not just powerful. It was far more advanced than anything in the galaxy. Its shields were stronger than fortress worlds. Its weapons were unknown to alien science. And the ship carried thousands of smaller drones inside. One scientist slowly spoke. This ship could destroy entire fleets alone. The room became completely silent. Then the commander asked the most important question. If this is a human ship? He looked around the room. Then where is the rest of their fleet? At that exact moment, the sensors detected something new. Another signal appeared behind the warship. Then another. And another. The technician's hands began shaking. Commander. How many ships? The commander asked. The technician swallowed nervously. We don't know yet. He looked at the screen again. But they are coming. And suddenly, the entire galaxy began to feel afraid. Inside the Galactic Council station, fear slowly began to spread. The massive human warship continued moving toward the center of the galaxy. It did not change direction. It did not send another message. It simply moved forward, slowly and calmly. But the sensors behind it showed something even more disturbing. Multiple signals were following the warship. No one knew how many ships were coming. In the council chamber, alien leaders argued loudly. This could be a trick, one reptilian leader shouted. No human ship should be this powerful. Another alien shook his head nervously. But the scans are real. The commander raised his hand, forcing the room to become quiet again. We need information about humans, he said. Search the old records. The station's supercomputer began digging through ancient archives. The files were very old. 200 years old. Slowly, information about humanity appeared on the screens. The alien leaders watched carefully. Long ago, humans had sent messages to the galaxy. They wanted to join the galactic community. They offered peace. They offered trade. They offered friendship. But most alien empires ignored them. Some even laughed at them. Humans were young. Their technology was primitive compared to the powerful alien civilizations. So the Council rejected Earth. After that day, humanity disappeared from galactic space. For 2 centuries, no human ships were ever seen again. Many alien historians believed humans had destroyed themselves. But now, that belief looked very foolish. The screen changed again. A scientist stepped forward nervously. We are detecting something strange inside the human ship. Show it, the commander ordered. The display zoomed into the ship's internal structure. Gasps filled the room. The warship was not empty. Inside were thousands of smaller craft. Fighter drones. Heavy bombers. Automated attack ships. It was like a mobile army base. One alien whispered in fear. That single ship could start a war. Another scientist continued scanning the hull. His eyes widened. There are weapon systems we cannot identify. Unknown energy sources. And, something else. What? The commander asked. The scientist hesitated. There are massive shield generators. How strong? The scientist took a deep breath. Strong enough to survive a full fleet attack. The room fell silent again. One alien leader slammed his fist on the table. This is impossible. No species could build something like this in only 200 years. But another alien spoke quietly. Humans are different. Everyone turned to look at him. He was an old historian from a small empire. We studied humans once, he said. They are slow to start, but once they focus on something. He paused. They never stop improving it. The commander looked back at the giant screen. The human warship was now closer to the galaxy's main trade routes. Every major empire could see it. Fear was spreading everywhere. Then suddenly, the sensors detected something new. A fleet was approaching the human ship. 30 warships. They belonged to the Zarvian Dominion, one of the strongest military empires in the galaxy. The Zarvians were known for their pride. They feared no one. On the council screen, the Zarvian fleet surrounded the human warship. The commander of the fleet sent a message. "Unknown human vessel," the message said. "You are entering controlled space. Deactivate your weapons and prepare for inspection." The human ship did not reply. For several seconds, nothing happened. Then a calm voice finally answered. "This is the human warship Aegis Prime. We are not here for war. Do not attack." The alien council watched nervously. But the Zarvian commander began laughing. "One ship cannot threaten the Dominion." He raised his hand. "All ships, prepare weapons." Inside the Galactic Council station, the alien leaders held their breath. The human ship remained completely still. It did not run. It did not hide. It simply waited. The Zarvian fleet opened fire. Bright energy beams shot through space toward the human warship. For a moment, the entire galaxy believed the ship would be destroyed. But then something incredible happened. The human warship activated its shields. A glowing barrier appeared around the ship. The alien weapons hit the shield and disappeared. The human ship was untouched. Silence filled the council chamber. Then the human voice spoke again. Calm, cold, and serious. "We warned you." The warship's weapons slowly began to activate. And at that moment, the alien commanders realized something terrible. They had just started a battle. They could not win. The Zarvian fleet attacked without hesitation. 30 warships surrounded the human vessel like hunters around their prey. Bright red laser beams and plasma weapons filled the dark space. Inside the Galactic Council station, every alien leader watched the battle in complete silence. They believed the human ship would not survive long. Even the strongest warships could not fight an entire fleet alone. But the human warship Aegis Prime did not move. It floated calmly in space. The powerful shield around it glowed blue as the alien weapons crashed into it again and again. Explosions flashed across the shield. But the barrier did not break. The Zarvian commander frowned. "How is that possible?" he said angrily. "All ships, increase firepower." The alien fleet obeyed immediately. More weapons fired. More explosions filled the darkness. But the human ship still did not move. Inside the Galactic Council station, alien scientists studied the battle carefully. One of them spoke in shock. "The shield is adapting." "What?" another scientist asked. "It is changing its structure every second," the scientist explained. "The human shield is learning from every attack." That information made several alien leaders nervous. Then suddenly, the human warship moved. It was slow at first. But its weapons began to activate. Massive cannons along the ship's side slowly turned toward the Zarvian fleet. Inside the alien fleet, warning alarms started screaming. Enemy weapons detected. The Zarvian commander laughed. "One ship cannot destroy us." He raised his hand. "Prepare defensive shields." But the human ship fired before they could react. A blinding beam of white energy shot from the front of Aegis Prime. The beam traveled across space in less than a second. It hit the first Zarvian warship directly. For a brief moment, nothing happened. Then the alien ship simply vanished. No explosion. No debris. It was just gone. Inside the Galactic Council station, shocked voices filled the room. "What weapon was that?" "That is impossible." The human warship fired again. Another beam crossed space. Another alien ship disappeared instantly. Now the Zarvian fleet finally understood the danger. "All ships, spread out," the commander shouted. But it was too late. The human warship released something new. Small doors opened across the massive hull. From those doors, hundreds of tiny fighter drones launched into space. The drones moved incredibly fast. They swarmed around the Zarvian fleet like a storm. Alien ships tried to shoot them down. But the drones were too quick. Each drone carried a powerful missile. Within seconds, explosions filled space. One alien cruiser exploded. Then another. Then 3 more. Inside the Zarvian flagship, panic spread through the crew. "This cannot be happening," the commander shouted. "How can one ship defeat us?" But the human warship was not finished yet. The giant cannons fired again. Another Zarvian battleship disappeared. Another one exploded. Within minutes, half the fleet was destroyed. The remaining alien ships tried to escape. But the drones chased them. More explosions lit up the darkness of space. Inside the Galactic Council station, every alien leader watched in horror. They had never seen anything like this before. One human ship was destroying an entire fleet. A scientist whispered quietly. "This is not a warship. This is a superweapon." On the battlefield, only a few Zarvian ships remained. Their commander realized the truth. They could not win. He quickly sent a message to the human ship. "We surrender." For a moment, the battle stopped. The drones returned to the human ship. The weapons powered down. Then the calm human voice spoke again across space. "We warned you not to attack." The Zarvian commander remained silent. He had no answer. Back in the Galactic Council station, the alien leaders stared at the screen in fear. If one human ship was this powerful, how strong was the rest of humanity? But suddenly the sensors detected something even more terrifying. New signals were entering the galaxy. Not one. Not two. But dozens. Massive human warships were arriving. And they were all heading toward the center of the galaxy. The technician's voice shook with fear. "Commander, these ships are even bigger." The commander slowly closed his eyes. He finally understood the truth. Humanity had not disappeared for 200 years. They had been preparing. Preparing for the day they would return. And now, the entire galaxy was about to meet the true power of Earth. Across the galaxy, news of the battle spread quickly. The destruction of the Zarvian fleet shocked every alien empire. 30 powerful warships had attacked the human vessel. And they had lost. Not slowly. Not after a long battle. But within minutes. Inside the Galactic Council station, the alien leaders sat in silence. The giant screen still showed the human warship Aegis Prime floating calmly in space. Around it were the broken remains of the Zarvian fleet. Destroyed ships drifted slowly through the darkness. No one dared to speak. Finally, the commander looked toward the sensor officers. "Update," he said quietly. The technician checked the scanners again. His face suddenly turned pale. "Commander. There are more signals." The entire room turned toward him. "How many?" the commander asked. The technician swallowed. "At least 20. Gasps filled the council chamber. 20 ships. And each signal was stronger than the last. The giant screen showed new objects appearing at the edge of the galaxy. Massive shapes slowly emerged from deep space. Human warships. Each one was enormous. Each one carried terrifying energy readings. Some were even larger than Aegis Prime. An alien scientist quickly ran calculations. His hands shook as he spoke. "If these ships are as powerful as the first one." He paused. "They could defeat every fleet in the galaxy." Fear spread through the room. For centuries, the alien empires believed they were the masters of the galaxy. Now a new power had arrived. And it was far stronger than anyone expected. Then suddenly, the human warship sent another message. The signal was broadcast to every empire. Every station. Every fleet. The calm human voice returned. This is Captain Elena Varga of the Earth warship Aegis Prime. We did not come here to start a war. We came because the galaxy has changed. The alien leaders listened carefully. For 200 years, the captain continued, humanity watched from afar. We saw the wars between your empires. We saw entire planets destroyed. We saw billions of lives lost. The room remained silent. Then the captain spoke again. But humanity chose a different path. While the galaxy fought endless wars, we built something better. The sensors detected more human ships entering the galaxy. 30. Then 40. The alien leaders stared at the screen in disbelief. The captain's voice continued. We built the Guardian fleet. Images of the new ships appeared on the screen. Gigantic battleships. Heavy carriers. Massive defense platforms. Each one looked like a floating fortress. And they were all human. Inside the council chamber, one alien leader whispered nervously. This is an invasion. But the human captain spoke again. No. This is a warning. The room became quiet again. For centuries, Earth was ignored. For centuries, humanity was underestimated. But today. The captain paused. The galaxy finally sees the truth. More human ships continued arriving. Dozens of them now surrounded Aegis Prime. Their weapons remained inactive. But their presence alone was terrifying. The captain's final message echoed across the stars. Humanity does not want to rule the galaxy. We only want peace. But if Earth is ever threatened again. The captain's voice became cold. The Guardian fleet will respond. Inside the council chamber, no one moved. No one spoke. The alien empires finally understood something important. Humanity had not returned as a weak civilization. They had returned as something far greater. A new superpower. And the galaxy would never be the same again. But far away, deep inside one of the alien empires, a secret message was sent. A hidden fleet was preparing for war. Because not everyone believed humanity's warning. And soon, the galaxy would face its biggest conflict ever. Across the galaxy, millions of eyes watched the human fleet. Dozens of massive warships floated around Aegis Prime like silent guardians. Their metal hulls reflected the light of distant stars. Their weapons were ready, but they did not fire. For the first time in galactic history, every alien empire felt the same emotion. Fear. Inside the Galactic Council station, the alien leaders were still staring at the screen. None of them had expected this. For centuries, the galaxy believed that humanity was weak. They believed humans were too young to become powerful. But now the truth was impossible to ignore. Humanity had returned stronger than anyone imagined. The commander of the council slowly stood up. We must speak with them, he said. Immediately. A communication signal was sent to the human flagship. For several seconds, nothing happened. Then the screen changed. A human woman appeared. She wore a dark military uniform. Her face was calm, but her eyes were sharp and confident. This is Captain Elena Varga, commander of the Guardian fleet. The alien leaders watched carefully. The council commander spoke. Human captain, the galaxy wishes to understand your intentions. Captain Varga nodded slightly. That is why we came. She looked directly at the council. For 200 years, humanity stayed away from galactic space. We watched. We learned. We saw how your empires treated weaker civilizations. The alien leaders remained silent. Captain Varga continued. Entire species were conquered. Planets were destroyed. And no one stopped it. Her voice became colder. So humanity decided to prepare. Images appeared behind her. Gigantic human shipyards. Thousands of warships under construction. Massive orbital factories surrounding Earth. For 2 centuries, she said, we built the Guardian fleet. The alien leaders stared at the images in disbelief. One scientist whispered quietly. How many ships do they have? Captain Varga answered before anyone asked. This fleet you see. She paused. Is only the first wave. Shock spread across the council chamber. The commander slowly spoke. You mean, there are more? Captain Varga nodded. Hundreds. The room fell into complete silence. No empire in the galaxy had a fleet that large. But Captain Varga raised her hand slightly. Do not misunderstand our purpose. We did not come to conquer the galaxy. The alien leaders listened carefully. We came to end the endless wars. Her eyes became serious. From today forward, no empire will destroy another world. No civilization will be enslaved. And no planet will be erased from existence. The council commander looked confused. And if someone refuses, he asked. Captain Varga's answer was simple. Then the Guardian fleet will stop them. Behind her, the massive human fleet slowly moved into formation. Dozens of warships lined up across space like an unstoppable wall. Their power filled the sensors of every alien station. At that moment, the galaxy finally understood something important. Humanity was no longer just another species. They had become something new. Protectors. Guardians. The council commander slowly lowered his head. For the first time in galactic history, he said quietly, every empire agrees. We accept peace. Across the galaxy, alien fleets began standing down. Weapons powered off. Battles ended. Wars that had lasted centuries finally stopped. And in the darkness of space, the human fleet remained watching. Not as conquerors, but as guardians of the galaxy. And from that day forward, every alien empire remembered one truth. Never underestimate humanity. Because when Earth finally entered the galaxy, everything changed forever.